Yabaraka Yahweh, Wayashamaka, Ya'or Yahweh Panyawa, Ayaka, Wayachanka, Yeshai Yahweh Panyawa, Ayaka, Wayasham Laka, Shalom. Alright, Shalom to the elect of Israel. First and foremost, Anya Nathan, call Halal Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, which means I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to the Most High and His Son, Yahweh Shai. Mashinakabad Shalakim Wazakwayim, which means I want to give double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule very well, and salutations and shalom unto the elect of Israel, and unto you Akim that's out there that's preaching, prophesying, and enduring, all in the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Alright, welcome to the first installment of Great Millstone Bayath Marapah, which means the house of healing. Okay, so I'm basically, the Most High put it in my spirit to dive into some of the herbs, that I take or use on a daily basis. First off, I want to, like I said, the water to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai for giving the apostles the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to bring out the herbs, which led me and the other brothers, to start taking herbs, to start getting more into herbs. All right. So yeah, I found some information, some tips. For the sake of time, I'm gonna bring out a couple tips. This is like I said, Lord willing, this will be one of many episodes. Lord willing, but this episode, I'm gonna bring out some tips and then go into one of the herbs that I like to use and I actually use today. So without further ado, the first tip is use simples. All right. So it says a simple is one herb. For optimum safety, I prepare, and mind you, I got this off the internet, some information I found on the internet. So it says I prepare, buy, sell, teach, and use herbal simples, that is, preparations containing only one herb. Occasionally I use, it should say I will add some mint to flavor a remedy. All right, it says the more herbs there are in a formula, the more likelihood there is of unwanted side effects, and that's true. Brothers that well, I can speak for myself. When I first started using herbs, especially the tinctures and also the pills, mixing certain herbs up with each other can cause certain side effects that you don't want. So you have to watch what kind of herbs you mix with each other. You have to be careful, and then not only that, you have to know the measurement of which herbs, of each herb that you take. Okay, so if you are into mixing herbs, which if you are into mixing herbs, you have to know which herbs go with each other. Because certain herbs can cancel each other out. And certain herbs can cause, like I said, unwanted side effects. All right, so you have to be very careful with mixing herbs. All right, it says, understandably, the public seeks combinations, hoping to get more for less, and many mistakenly believe that herbs must be used together to be effective. All right, and that goes back to, you have to do your own research on what herb goes together. And not only that, but what herb is good for you, all right? What herb agrees with your body. So it says probably because potentially poisonous herbs are often combined with protective herbs to mitigate the damage they cause. But combining herbs with the same properties, such as golden seal and echinacea, is counterproductive. Just like if you combine the herb that I'm going to go into, which is Yarrow, I'm going to today, which is Yarrow. If you combine that with something like Yarrow, garlic or onions, which are blood thinners, and Yarrow is a blood clotter. it's kind of butting heads. You don't want to do that. So you have to know what herb goes with each other and what herb does what. You know. All right. So it says it's counterproductive and more likely to cause trouble than a simple. So it's keep it simple. It's kind of good to keep it simple. And then brothers, well, we know we don't eat crazy stuff like that. So our body is can heal itself quickly. More quicker than these other people, these heathens out here that just eat a bunch of crap. So with the herb, you can take one herb one day and then you don't have to take that herb for another week. You don't have to take that herb every day. You can take that herb one day and then take it another week, and spread out. Pretty much save money. Honestly, it's saving money, and not only that, you don't need to take a herb every day. A certain herb every day, because your body is going to heal your body the same way as these people out here. They eat a bunch of crap, and they have to take medicines and herbs every day, but we fast, we eat good, we eat better than these people out here, so you don't have to take a herb every day to get the effects. All right. So it says a simple tincture of echinacea is more effective than any combination and much safer. Different people have different reactions to substances. All right, different strokes with different folks, and different spirits. Okay, we all have different spirits. It says whether drugs, foods, or herbs, when herbs are mixed together in a formula and someone taking it has distressing side effects, there is no way to determine which herb is the cause. With simples, it's easy to tell which herb is doing what, and that's true. I remember when I took a bunch of herbs at one time, I didn't know what herb was causing the side effect that I didn't want. But when I break it down, I take one herb take one herb one day, take another herb another day, I know what's doing what, and I know when I mix my herbs, I know those herbs can go together. All right, because they're doing the same thing. Okay, and you can also mix herbs to get an acquired taste that you want. I know when I want an herb for just to relax, I'll mix something like lavender and elderberry, and that's a pretty good mix, as far as effects and taste, So it says if there's an adverse reaction, other herbs with similar properties can be tried, and there you go, herbs with similar properties, you can mix those together. But if you mix two opposite herbs, it's like mixing alkaline and acidic. You can't do that. Your body's either alkaline or it's acidic. All right, or it's balanced. But you can't mix two opposing herbs. It's either going to be good, bad, positive, negative. That's a better analogy. All right, so it says limiting the number of herbs used in any one day to no more than 4 offers added protection. All right, so you don't want to just mix, and even when you're mixing, you got to know what, for lack of a better word, percentage that you're putting into whatever beverage you're taking, water, juice, tea. So it says side effects from herbs are less common than side effects from drugs and usually less severe, which is true. If an herb disturbs the digestion, it may be that the body is learning to process it. All right. Give it a few more tries before giving up. Stop taking any herb that causes nausea, dizziness, sharp stomach pains, diarrhea, headache, or blurred vision. It's probably not a herb. It says these effects will generally occur quite quickly. If you are allergic to any foods or medicines, it is especially important to consult resources that list the side effects of herbs before you use them. Right? And you go on to Google and you just type in the herb, and then type benefits, and it'll give you a list of the benefits that go along with the herbs and the side effects. The possible side effects that go along with it. So like I said, man, you don't want to mix too much herbs, and you don't want to take too many herbs in one day. Sometimes it's good, especially if you work out. You eat good. You don't have to take a herb every day. You can just take it one day or once a week, or twice a week. So just a little bit more. It says, understand that different preparations of the same herb can work differently. And that's true because you have different spirits preparing these herbs, all right? We don't have the benefit to prepare our own herbs, in this queendom, in this captivity, So that's why it's good to always pray over your food, not only your food, but your herbs, and pray to the Most High that for healing, okay? That's why I recited the anointing prayer at the beginning of the lesson, So it says, understand that different preparations of the same herb can work differently. The safety of any herbal remedy is dependent on the way it is prepared and used, all right? And praying, praying to the Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, all right? It says, tinctures and extracts contain the alkaloids or poisonous parts of the plant and need to be used with care and wisdom. Tinctures are as safe as the herb involved. See cautions below for toxifying, stimulating, sedating, or potentially poisonous herbs. And I prefer tinctures over pills, okay? I prefer it, it's quicker. I get a bottle of water or put some water into a bottle before I leave the house, and just, put some drops in, mix it up, and you good to go. You take it along with you. It's portable. The pills take more time to me, and it's gonna go into it. The capsules, dried herb capsules. It's gonna talk about it. It says best used sold as simples, not combinations, because when strong herbs are being used, or especially when strong herbs are being used. Now that's where the research comes in at, because if you did your research, you know what combination of herbs you can buy. Because I got some. I'll go to the health store and they got something called eye health. And it's got a list of a bunch of herbs. Where you do your research, or if you're in the store, you got the Urim and the Thummim with you. You go on Google, type in these different herbs, and you see if they can combine with each other, or you see if they butt heads with each other. If they butt heads, you don't buy it. Or you take it to the people and you tell them, hey, these herbs they don't go together, and start questioning them. But if they do go together, it's good to go. It says, dried herbs made into teas or infusions contain the nourishing aspects of the plants and are usually quite safe. All right, and that's one of my favorites, the teas, And if I'm in a rush and I can't make a tea, I'll just throw it in a bottle of water and keep it moving, It says, especially when nourishing or tonifying herbs are used. Dried herbs in capsules are generally the least effective way to use herbs. And me personally, I don't like capsules. I use them, but I really don't like them like that. I'd rather use the tinctures before I use the capsules. It says they are poorly digested, poorly utilized, often stale or ineffective, and quite expensive, which is true. It says use nourishing, tonifying, stimulating, and potentially poisonous herbs wisely. All right. And the scriptures tell you about the herbs, okay? Now, with that being said, I'm going to bring this out. This is Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, chapter 38, verse 4. The Lord hath made medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them, all right? So he that is wise will not hate using the medicines of the earth, okay? You have people that use these medicines, these placebo pills, what I like to call them, that the so-called doctor gives them, okay, which they're witches and warlocks, before they use herbs, all right. But the scriptures say, "He that is wise will not hate medicines. He that is wise will not abhor medicines." All right. So the herb that I want to go into today is called Achillea millefolium. All right, and it's commonly known as yarrow or common yarrow. Okay. It says it is a flowering plant in the family Salakia, in the family Astraceae. All right. Now, when you break that down, it's basically a star-shaped plant. You know, it says it is native to temperate regions of Salakia. All right. So it says it is native to temperate regions of the northern hemisphere in Asia, Europe, and North America. In New Mexico and southern Colorado, it is called plumajillo, which is Spanish for little feather. It says from its leaf shape and texture. All right. It says in antiquity, yarrow was known as herbal militaris for its use in staunching the flow of blood from wounds. All right, and that's the number one way that I use yarrow. Okay, I used it like that today. I got a cut and it was bleeding. Wiped it down with some alcohol and then put the put the yarrow on it, and it stopped it from bleeding. You know, so that's what I was saying. Yarrow is a like a blood clot. All right, it's a blood clotter. It stops blood. So you won't want to mix that. You won't want to eat no garlic and then mixed out with yarrow. You know. It says other common names for this species include Gorado, nosebleed plant, old man's pepper, devil's nettle, sanguinary, milfoil, soldier's woundwort, because you know soldiers way back in the past used to use it. I got some information on that. You know, Achilles and his soldiers, you know, used it. It says woundwort, thousand leaf, and thousand seal. All right, so going into more information, this is from herbwisdom.com. It says yarrow or Achillea millefolium originates from Europe and has adapted to the regions of North America, which we know if it originated from Europe, Jake is the former of all things. The Israelites were the first ones to use this plant, all right? And it dates way further back than Europe, okay? These plants were around since the beginning, all right? Genesis, all right? So it says from Europe and has adapted to the regions of North America as well as other moderate regions. The word Achillea refers to Achilles, an ancient Edomite. He said that he used yarrow for himself and for his soldiers. Millefolium means coming of 1,000 leaves. This refers to the very small, fine, and feathery leaves of this plant. All right, and you saw that on the little picture, you know. And a lot of these plants, man, people walk past and don't realize that, hey, this is medicine, you know. These are herbs, like dandelions. It says, he said, Salakia, this refers to the very small, fine, and feathery leaves of this plant. The yarrow plant carries several other names: bloodwort, common yarrow, carpenter's weed, knight's milfoil, noble yarrow, old man's pepper, nosebleed, and staunch grass. This herb was first used by ancient Greeks, which that's a lie, okay? We know that's a lie. Over 3,000 years ago for treating external wounds on the skin, okay? And like I said, you got to you cut yourself with a knife, some scissors, paper cut, it's bleeding, you know. Women that have their menstrual periods, if they're bleeding excessively or heavy, you know, yarrow is good, okay? It says the flowers and leaves of yarrow were eaten and also made into a tea-like drink, so you can ingest it as well as put it on a cut or a wound. It says the fresh leaves were used to stop bleeding wounds, treat gastrointestinal problems, fight fevers. All right, it's good for the flu. It's also good for common cold. It says lessen menstrual bleeding. There you go, and better circulation. All right, which that's for the menstrual. Okay, the menstrual cycle. It says the fresh leaves were also chewed on to relieve toothaches. Scientists have credited yarrow for its benefit relating to almost every organ in the body. All right, and I have some yarrow here, and it says optimal well-being. Okay, so if you do take yarrow, you want to. It's one of those herbs or tinctures that you want to take as a simple herb. You know, you don't really want to mix it with anything. Okay. It says Gadites and Reubenites use yarrow for wounds. Issachar too. You know, infections and bleeding. Chinese medicine gives it praise for the ability to affect the kidney, spleen, liver, and energy channels throughout the body. All right, you take yarrow, you feel good. You know. It says animal studies have also shown support for the use of yarrow in cleansing wounds and controlling the bleeding of wounds, cuts, and abrasions. All right, testimony. You know, I can attest to that. It says many times yarrow is categorized as a uterine tonic, which supports the circulation in the uterine. Many studies show that it helps the uterine by improving the tone, increasing menstrual flow, and reducing spasms in the uterine. All right. As you see here, it says fights bacteria. All right, and that's why it's good to put on a cut. You know, you really don't even need alcohol. You know, I use alcohol to wipe the blood off, and all you gotta do is put a drop of yarrow on your cut. If, depending on how big it is. You know, I had a small cut today. I put a drop on it. It stopped the bleeding. You know, wiped it off after couple minutes. It's good to go, you know. So yeah, just a little bit of information, and I'm gonna end it on this. This is one of the websites I like to use. It's called Annie's Remedy. All right, you can go in there, type in the search bar any herb, and it brings up basically everything about it, you know. So it says yarrow, which we know is Achillea millefolium. It says medicinal uses. It says Chinese, which they use it. Colds, cuts and wounds. Dysmenorrhea, hypertension, menorrhagia. All right. Which, like I said, the main thing I use it for is cuts and wounds. It's a great blood clotter. All right, and this is one medicine that the people in West Africa could have used. You know, they have the cola nut also. You know, but yarrow is real good to stop bleeding. You know, and they were saying it was with that whole is it Ebola? They were saying the blood was coming all out their eyes and ears and mouth and whatnot. Well, that would have stopped it right in its tracks, you know. So it says anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, anti-cancer, anti-rheumatic, antispasmodic, astringent, bitter, cathartic, depurative, so like I'm struggling with some of these words. Emmenagogue, febrifuge, hypotensive, insect repellents, midsummer, nervine, septic, and vulnerary. All right. And it can be used as an essential oil. It's probably for the insect repellents. All right. So going down, last bit of information. It says yarrow was once known as nosebleed, its feathery leaves making an ideal astringent swab to encourage clotting. All right, there you go. Yarrow skin washes and leaf poultices can staunch bleeding and help to disinfect cuts and scrapes. Taken as a tea, it can help slow heavy menstrual bleeding as well. Yarrow is a tonic bitter with additional anti-inflammatory, carminative, and antispasmodic properties that make it useful as a secondary herb in digestive teas. Yarrow is a good herb to have in hand to treat winter colds and flu. A hot cup of yarrow tea makes you sweat and helps the body expel toxins while reducing fever. The chemical makeup of yarrow is complex, and it contains many active medicinal compounds in addition to the tannins and volatile oil azulin. These compounds are anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, and help relax blood vessels. Yarrow should be on every man's short list of remedies since the herb makes itself useful for everything from brewing beer to a hair rinse to prevent baldness. It says preparation methods and dosage. Tea can be made from both fresh and dried cut leaves and flower heads. The bitter taste can be masked with sweeter herbs and a bit of honey. Fresh leaves can be used as a poultice to stop bleeding and chewed to relieve a toothache. Yarrow essential oil is used for external application for many of the same purposes. Yarrow can also be taken as an extract. All right. So yep, that's the plant yarrow, the herb yarrow. I'm gonna put this information in the description box below. I hope you brothers was edified. With that, once again, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule very well. And salutations unto the elect and unto you brothers that's out there that's continuing to endure, preach, and prophesy all in the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Shalom.